Alright. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Juro. As I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to put another video because I was worried about time and I didn't want to sound too winded. But first of all, welcome to those who have never seen my videos. My name is Juro Davis. I am a life coach and a future psychologist. Actually, when it's all said and done, you're looking at Dr. Juro Davis, psychologist. But that is in the future, and that is where I'm heading. In October of 2011, I made a choice to embrace my spiritual path and embrace my Creator, as I know Him as my Lord Jesus Christ. But as you know, He is one of many names. So I say to you all, welcome. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to hear my message. My message comes from Spirit. I am not a minister. However, I have a very, very strong discernment. And the Spirit says, hey, I need you to talk about this and put it out to the masses. So that is what I do. Now, I was trying to figure out how I was going to tackle this next topic of discussion. And not that I was afraid, no, because I'm always speaking my truth. But I've noticed, I've wondered, have you noticed a trend that has been there? It's been in the midst of everyone. I want to say for the last at least 7-8 years, and it has been so blatant, so disrespectful, that it has really made an impact on everyone. What I'm referring to is the fact that society, or the moral compass that we all have, which is navigated by your discernment, has been placed under attack. For the women that watch my videos, you maybe can attest to this. Is it me, or does it seem that society wants to feminize men? Yeah, I said it. It seems like as the generations evolve, the more and more they embrace becoming you. And in turn, because of this effect, this has caused women to lose faith in men, and to some harbor or foster a resentment, and you feel that you must take steps in your hands, only to be deceived. Well, this is not by chance. This is systematic. But just like the weather, I can turn around and the clouds can just release a misting that's consistent and get more absorption than the hardest thunderstorm. Because everybody knows with a thunderstorm, it will make contact, and depending on the impact, it will just flow on and eventually drain off. But with a misting, everything is in contact. Everything is affected. And I know some of you probably wonder, well, where did this come from, Juro? What's going on? Listen, For those people that already know, this is not by chance. It seems like society, or the moral compass that is perpetuated, does not want you to use your brain. It wants you to take a more of approach of your brawn or your dexterity. It's like, well, no, they don't think. So we'll just say and do whatever we want, and sooner or later they'll submit, and we'll get what we want. Well, if that ain't a sucker punch, I don't know what to call it. And I'll give you examples. My queens, do you realize that the publications that you may read, they always have a position directed negatively towards men? I don't care which ones you pick, but it's always some type of negative influence. Why? Because they're trying to sway your opinion. They're trying to plant a seed of doubt. Well, there's probably someone right now who said, well, they're right. And to a degree, you're right, because you must first place ownership on your individual purpose in life and direction. So yes, we are all accountable. But that does not exclude you, my queen. Because you've been deceived as well. They figured you out to a point of saying, well, guess what? We know their intellect will pick up on what we put out in the media, such as the TV. They'll catch that real quick. So what they do is, they use music. And they'll throw a nice beat under it. And not knowing, unbeknownst to you, it will seduce you, and you will embrace it. And you'll be right out there condoning the same thing that is actually demoralizing you. My queens, I am pleading this to you now. Do not fall for the okie doke, because they're banking that you do. Would you prefer a man to call you out of your name? I mean, that's just like, I'm gonna keep it 100. If you do not answer to the word bitch, hoe, hood rat, jump off, slut, well, why are you dancing and celebrating the same thing that does? Because it's demoralizing you every time you do. I know somebody right now says, well, it sounds good, I'm going to just do whatever I want. See, back in the day, that was condoned in the 20s, they called that minstrel. Or more or less, you're a puppet. And I know my subscribers are very, very intelligent. They're very goal-oriented, and they know their purpose. And that would be nothing but an insult for what you stand for. But there is a battle going on for your influence. See, you can take any type of periodical you want. I don't care what it is. And the only thing that's different for the target audience is how the message is conveyed. But the one thing for certain is this: it is not for what is the message conveyed that they care about. They care about the money and how they can get in your purse. Yeah, you know that every man that has a heartbeat knows the two things you don't do. You never put a woman's purse on the ground, and you don't go in it. Alright, you know I'm telling the truth. Now, queens, I've echoed this for many months. If you want the respect that you truly deserve, you must first set the precedence and the example. Do not allow yourself to fall prey to things and behaviors that do not set you on a higher level. Do not do that to yourself unless you wish and choose to be deceived. Let me go a little further, because I know some of you right now have this mindset, or you choose to. You think, well, you know what? The guy's been doing it forever, so why can't I do it? Sweetheart, I want you to look at me when I say this. You know why a man takes so long to choose his wife? It's because he has to get to a point to find himself before he can choose his mate. And his mate is an extension of him. He will never select a mate that he cannot grow from. So what do? Like little boys, they play. They test things for durability and longevity. Your heart should not be one of them. See, you set the precedence of your environment. And your environment is nothing but your reality that you live in. So if you want true love and you want to feel emotionally safe, you must set the precedence. You must show consistency. See, that's what separates a woman from a little girl. See, any man knows that. You can't run an okie doke on a woman because she knows who she is. But with a little girl, playtime doesn't end. Don't do yourself a disservice, okay? You need to love yourself. Keep your boundaries close. Be careful who you allow access to you. There's only one you. So why don't you value and see your worth? Stop looking at what you see on TV to emulate what you're going to do tomorrow. If anything that you should gather out of what you see that's found on TV is this: it doesn't matter what the check looks like and how many zeros behind it, because those people that are playing those roles are going to need every dime for the therapy that was caused, for the behavior they condoned. Because see, they compromised themselves. Yes, that's right. And as you know, money does not foster happiness. It comes from within you. So be the queen that you know you are. It's time to stop playing and get real with yourself. And if it means that you gotta take a step back from the outside world to fix what's going on within you, thank you, my angels. Let me turn this up real quick. You hear that? You hear it now, don't you? Yes, love me in a special way. See, every morning that you wake up and every day, every night you go to bed, you should be saying, I love me. But there's so many queens. I see it all the time. You put a mask on. You're like you have this theatrical routine that you do to go through your day because you're hurting inside. You haven't gotten over what little Tommy did to you. Well, let me tell you something. You don't worry about little Tommy because little Tommy didn't deserve you anyway. He was just stopping through. Because the man that is blessed, that's going to come when you do the work, Tommy is going to be nothing but an afterthought. And guess what's going to happen to Tommy? Tommy is going to be kicking himself because you're going to be the one that got away. I know that needed to go out for somebody. I know there's somebody. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100 because it needs to be said. If you are somebody that believes that if you condone behavior and do things you ain't supposed to be doing just to keep a bond going, you're doing yourself a disservice. You want to see your worth and value? Shut down the show. Shut it down for a while. And watch the clowns start acting up. See, I've said this time and time again. See, where your destiny is going to take you, there are some people that you're going to come into contact that do not deserve to go where you headed. That's right. But that's important that you place boundaries in your life and see your worth. See, if this and this ain't together, you're wasting time. You'll never get what you need. You'll get what you want, and you'll get what's coming to you. And it's usually not what you need. Respect yourself, queens. Please, respect yourself. If you got to turn around and say, hey, the bank's closed, I don't want any love deposits, or you got insufficient funds, and that's what is needed for you so that you can reassess who you are, then you shut that down. Because, matter of fact, let me put this perspective out here, because some of y'all don't even get it. Do you realize every time that you share a moment of intimacy with someone, you are actually taking a moment of intimacy away from the person that you're destined to be with? Yes. If you turn around or what we call having marriage relations in your boyfriend relations, you're giving yourself away to someone that will never, ever love you as you intend. They can't. Do not do yourself a disservice. See your worth and love yourself more. And I'm going to get over you. Figuratively, my kings. What up, homie? Look, everybody has idols or influences that we emulate. But if your emulation is not positive, what are you doing? Why are you living or choosing to live a life that ain't yours? See, some of my kings look at life like it's a video game. That when you get to a hard part, you can turn around and hit the reset button and put a cheat code in. My kings, do not do that to yourself. I don't know if you see the severity of what's going on for you. A lot of our queens have lost faith in us and have chosen to take alternate routes or alternate decisions to find happiness, when in actuality you find the same things. Well, first of all, you're never supposed to look for your mate anyway. Let me put that out there, because some people get that messed up. It is not your responsibility to go out and search for a mate. No. Your responsibility is to authenticate who you are. And when you decide to do the work and see your value and your essence, guess what will happen? You will attract your mate. But if you're a person that may be thinking, well, I need somebody to complete me, let me tell you this: no one will complete you. You complete yourself. All they do is enhance the qualities that you possess. I don't care what anyone tells you. And as I always say, if they do not, your extensions, I'm saying, if your extensions do not cause you to grow, to be the best you, do yourself a favor so you don't have to do this later. Kick rocks. Because all they're doing is taking space from the person that should be in your life. That is why it's important to speak your truth. Now, when I say speak your truth, that does not mean take a position for vindictiveness or spitefulness or deception. You be the exception of the rule. You take the path that was less traveled. For my poets out there, that's a homework assignment. You'll know what I'm saying. The poet's name was Robert Frost, The Road of Less Traveled. Read that. You can Google it. It's there. And when you do, you'll see the symbolism behind that poem. I just want to leave this lastly on your soul. I don't know if you're there yet or maybe coming to understand. But when you get to a point where you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to get away from that table. You're not going to eat from that plate. Because what should happen is your discernment should say, enough is enough. I love myself more. Why am I continuing to settle for bad behavior? Love should never hurt. How can it? It comes from you. So you need to, and queens, you know I'm telling the truth, because all you do is two things. You desire two things that I know you do. You constantly are in thought. That's why you don't want those who are eligible or blessed to have access to you to put you in a place of vulnerability. And the second thing that you desire is to feel emotionally safe. Because when you feel emotionally safe, what won't you do? Because you are free. You find balance. I know. Baby girl, I know. So the person that's watching this right now, it is time for you to dry them tears. If it means that you got to purge from your tears, cry, baby. Cry. Get it out. Get it out, because that is the most positive thing you can do for yourself. And then, this is for my kings too. Do not hang your hat where it does not need to be hung. Do not take a position for tit for tat. You're wasting your time trying to accomplish something that will not come to pass. And if you have to take an approach such as that to see clarity, I hate to say it, but you're being deceived. Because that is nothing but a position of control. So it is very important that you love yourself. Love yourself. That's the greatest relationship that you're going to have, is the relationship with yourself, and by all means, the relationship with your higher power. You deserve it. Can't you see your worth? Can't you see your greatness? Can't you see your value? It is time for you to love yourself. Stop settling for the bad behavior, y'all. I mentioned it before. Society thinks that you're ignorant. They're putting it out there in the mainstream, waiting for you to change your opinion and accept behavior that ain't yours. You don't deserve that. And lastly, if it means for you to develop into the person that you are, to embrace your purpose, because see, when you find your purpose, you find your clarity, and you find peace. If it means that you must close some doors that you once walked through, close them. And because a door is closed does not mean it's locked. I'm a firm believer of this, because the book of your life, a chapter may be closed, does not mean, or come to an end, means that is the end of that book. If it's divinely meant, all those people that are meant to be in your life will be in your life. But choose wisely, because like-mindedness attracts like-mindedness. Otherwise, what you got to talk about? What's the common denominator? And if you see your worth, if you see your value, you'll do the work. If you're tired of going to sleep to wake up to be just as rested as you laid down, it is time that you go within and look at what is not working for you. But you must first be able to have the courage to speak your truth. Don't you deserve it? I think you do. And I'm going to tell you, Rome was not built in a day, but guess what? It was those bricks that solidified that foundation to stand the test of time. And you guys deserve it. Stop falling for excuse me, people that only want to waste your time, do not have the courage to speak their truth, because see, to speak your truth, you must first identify your flaws, but have the vulnerability and openness of self to work on your flaws, because anything can be changed except for death. Now I'm going to get off my soapbox because I think somebody needed to hear that. I think somebody has been deceived for a very long time. And what's sad is you're thinking it was your fault. Let me tell you, my king and my queens, is this. What you put in is what you get out. But if it seems like it is one-sided coming from you and there's no balance, say la vie, because they didn't deserve you and they didn't need to be with you anyway. They was just more or less there for the interview, trying to land the job. Nah, don't do that. I can tell you this, when you start to look within yourself and do the work that is needed so that you can heal, for those that desire companionship, when you do all those things, first of all, you're going to fall back in love with yourself, and you'll have the peace that you desire and always desire. There's somebody right now watching this video that's been feeling this way since they were a little child, and made choices thinking, well, if I make this decision and go out here and I openly call it dating, you're condoning bad behavior and you don't even realize it. It's because you don't see your worth, because your environment didn't see your worth either. Or they didn't have the faculties or the tools to foster it. So roll up your spiritual sleeves, okay? God loves you. He's praying for you. And you deserve nothing more to have every dream come to pass. And as you already know, God will bless you even if you don't deserve it, just to see what you're going to do. And depending on how sincere you are, that may end up either doing one or two things. You're going to go right back where you came from, and you're in the midst of that intense spiritual storm, or you will reap the blessings with your name. God's praying for you, y'all. It's time. It's time. You know I am, because I believe each and every one of you deserve it. If you got any questions or concerns, by all means, drop me a line, inbox me, or put it right down here. Also, I'm on Google Circle. You can find me there. I would love to chat with you guys and have an open forum. So, it is Saturday. Going on 4 in the morning. But I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Please be safe. Where did summer go, y'all? Where'd it go? I know. Well, as I said, God is praying for you. You know I am. You guys have a blessed weekend. Until next week, alright? I'll talk to you then. Stay blessed.